Out of residents of Kisumu County to experience Madaraka Day celebrations saw Ministry of Health protocols on Covid-19 abandoned. Despite an appeal by government for residents to follow the events from home, residents disregarded the plea and instead jammed roads where national leaders would pass. Social distancing and wearing of masks were not adhered to, raising fears that the Covid-19 numbers could spike in coming days. The county of Kisumu has recorded cases of the lethal Indian variant of the virus, as our health and science reporter Beldin Waliaula now tells us.
As earlier expected, the Madaraka Day national celebrations in Kisumu was perhaps going to be a super spreader for Covid-19 virus. And it came to pass. The high numbers of people who turned up for the national event held at the Jomo Kenyatta International Sports Complex saw critical Covid-19 containment measures such as social distancing thrown out of the window. Even after declarations that only 3,000 invited guests were going to be allowed inside the newly built Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium, residents of Kisumu did not hear any of that. There was no social distancing both inside and outside the stadium. The congestion was witnessed on the terraces where members of the public were seated. The 1.5-meter distance rule was simply not adhered to. To some, wearing a mask was still news to them. Earlier calls by the Kisumu governor for people to follow the proceedings at home on their televisions might have fell on deaf ears if the numbers of those standing by the roadside blocking motorcades is anything to go by.
We ask everybody to stay at home and watch the event on their television or listen to the radio. And we don't expect any crowding around in the city.
And as the leaders left the stadium, huge crowds were on the roads cheering them. Kisumu has so far recorded more than 3 variants of Covid-19, with the latest being the Indian variant. At least 28 cases have been reported in the lakeside city of Kisumu. On Tuesday, Kisumu has recorded 67 cases of Covid-19. But with such super spreader events, the numbers might rise in the coming few weeks. Countrywide, 349 COVID cases were reported within 24 hours out of 4,208 samples that were tested. According to the figures from the Ministry of Health, 16 people have been reported dead from the virus. Beldin Waliaula, KTN News.
Now, a man